Whoa, they like
for the game, sit on the sideline, then go to the back, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him is bull. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview.
What's up, y'all? This is Relly, back with another video. Yes, and today we got to talk about Draymond Green's comments because Draymond Green said a lot of truth in those statements. A lot of truth. And I believe it is time that we have to talk about this because this is a legitimate conversation that has been going on for a very long time. But before we get into that, I need y'all to smash that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed to my channel, share it to somebody who ain't subscribed because we are on the grind. And with y'all, I know I can get there. And don't forget to like this video because we have to make sure YouTube push this video to the world. But with all that being said, we got to talk about Draymond Green because Draymond Green, like I said before, said a lot of factual statements. First thing first, I'm going to be devil advocate right here because he made a statement about Andre Drummond saying it didn't look too good for him to be on the bench with his street clothes. But the only reason why I wouldn't have used that for his argument is only because the Cleveland Cavaliers actually talked to him and his agent, and both sides came to the conclusion that that would be the best way to go upon this, and they told him that they're going to trade him, and Drummond agreed, and they said, to get the best value, it doesn't make sense for me to play, mess around, get hurt, and now worst case scenario, we have to waive him. But if you truly listen to what Draymond Green said, you understand how factual he is, right? Because let's be real. Let's give a scenario, right? If Bradley Beal today demanded a trade and said, I want to leave Washington, he would get so much flack questioning his loyalty, his competitiveness, and all of that because he made up in his mind he wants to contend for a title, right? Even though Bradley Beal giving up all of his best years to the organization, kept a straight face and said, I'm trying to win on a team that has literally given me nothing to win or even contend in the playoff. Yet, we're going to look at Bradley Beal as the villain. And case in point on Draymond's case, look at John Wall, my favorite point guard, right? When John Wall, the beginning of the season, they swore up and down they was not going to trade John Wall. They swore up and down. The general manager was saying he was talking with John Wall every single day, and literally less than a week after he made that response, he was traded for Russell Westbrook. Yet, did we hear anybody say the general manager did some sneaky stuff? Did we hear anybody say the general manager is terrible? No. Absolutely not. All we heard was, oh, they got Russell Westbrook for Bradley Beal. Now the Washington Wizards can contend better. John Wall was just injury prone anyway. And that's basically what Draymond Green is talking about. That is the garbage that these basketball players have to live up to because it's a walking contradiction. And yes, I understand certain players do there are anomalies of that, right? Like James Harden, in my personal opinion, how he went around trying to get traded was absolutely weird. I think a lot of us can agree. But like players like Bradley Beal, if he demanded a trade, you should understand. If Damian Lillard demanded a trade, you should understand. Even when Anthony Davis demanded a trade, we should understand. Like, look at the rosters these players has gotten in their careers. Yet they got so much slander for trying to be competitive. And this is why you have to agree with Draymond Green's take because it is so many scenarios I can just think up on top of my head that fits his point so perfectly just alone that Washington Wizards, right? If Bradley Beal, like I said before, demanded a trade, he would get flack. But when they traded John Wall like it was just a piece of garbage, we didn't say absolutely nothing. And this is where Adam Silver is going to have to put his foot down, man, because we've seen Adam Silver literally make all types of changes, enforce all types of rules. We've seen them enforce the flopping rule. We have seen them make sure tampering, was enforced, all that stuff, making sure teams wasn't illegally giving players contracts way before it was permitted to give players contracts. We've seen Adam Silver enforce all of these different rules. We've seen Adam Silver implement all of these different changes. We've seen him change the way the All-Star was. We've seen him try to get an All-Star game this season. We've seen him try to get the season back started. We've seen them implement the bubble, right? But now it's time for y'all to implement something to protect the players, because let's be real, that is truly unfair when a general manager in a front office can be protected by the premise of they did a good job, they traded them because of this. But when the players do the exact same thing to get them in a better situation, we question their loyalty, their integrity, and their competitiveness, especially when they're a player that's truly had absolutely nothing to even be competitive. And thinking about it too, Draymond Green made an excellent point too when he brought up DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins wanted to be a Sacramento King, right? How many players say they want to be a Sacramento King, right? He wanted to stay there. He wanted to end his career as a Sacramento King. He was trying to recruit players to play on the Sacramento Kings. And what did the Sacramento Kings do when they felt like DeMarcus Cousins couldn't bring anything to the team? They didn't give him a call and said they wanted to trade him. What they did was they waited till the All-Star game finished and then told him he got traded from the Sacramento Kings. Think about that. Now, if a player were to go to the All-Star game and start saying, I want to play with Brown, I want to play with KD, he would have got flagged. I promise you. But when a player gets traded literally moments after the game is finished in the All-Star game, we look at it as the Sacramento Kings finally pushed the button. The Sacramento Kings has finally made a roster change. The Sacramento King has finally made a move before the trade deadline. How is that fair? How is that fair? And what Draymond Green says, you have to agree. Honestly, I understand it might be a difference in opinion, which I am willing to hear, but let's be real. Draymond Green is spot on. Spot on. And for more amazing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of the grind. And with that being said, go.
Hey, motivated all about cash flow, ran it up and ran out of excuses. In the field and we turned into hoopers. For the clip like bonds we shoot. Just like some soldiers we trooping. Step back 3, we hooping. We on house just like Fortnite.